Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Andy Cohen responds to Garcelle Beauvais leaving RHOBH. Garcelle Beauvais quit The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills earlier this week. She joined the cast in season 10 and has been an integral part of the group since then. Since 2020, Garcelle's career as an actress and producer has taken off, and that RHOBH veteran wants to focus more on that aspect of her life, as well as her twin boys Jade and Jax. It's still taking time to absorb and mourn the exit of the fan favorite. Two of her co-stars already commented publicly when they appeared on Watch What Happens Live. Bozoma St. John and Erica Jane didn't seem shocked, and Andy Cohen gave some insight into a conversation he had with Garcelle before she quit. Andy discussed the issue on SiriusXM's Andy Cohen Live. Andy suggested that Garcelle's negative experience at the RHOBH reunion seemingly played a part in her decision. "We had a serious conversation before she was on Watch What Happens Live. She had a reunion that you will see play out, and I'm not gonna. You'll just watch it, but she didn't. It was not. She ended in a not good place, and she and I were texting, and she kept saying, 'I will speak to you in New York,'" Andy said. He continued, "So we got together about an hour before her live show, and she and I really hashing things out, and she let me into where her head was at, and there was not only stuff with the show, but she's got. The kids are entering their senior year, and I really respect that fact." Andy called the conversation with Garcelle one of the most real. Ultimately, though, it ended where it ended, and that RHOBH favorite decided to leave. She told Andy, "I got to choose my kind of my life. I love it too," Andy agreed. "And that's why also I was like, look, call us in a year by the way if you feel like it. See where you're at." Andy Cohen responds to Garcelle Beauvais leaving RHOBH. In a candid interview, Andy Cohen, the iconic host of Watch What Happens Live and the driving force behind the Real Housewives franchise, opened up about Garcelle Beauvais' decision to leave the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, RHOBH. Garcelle's departure had been one of the most talked about moments in recent RHOBH history, leaving fans wondering about the future of the show and the impact of her exit. Andy Cohen, known for his thoughtful and sometimes controversial comments, took the opportunity to reflect on Garcelle's time on the show and what her departure means both for the cast and the franchise as a whole. A bittersweet farewell. As he sat down for a one-on-one with Entertainment Tonight, Cohen was uncharacteristically solemn when discussing Garcelle's decision. "It's bittersweet," Cohen said, his voice reflecting the mixed emotions that have been swirling since the news broke. Garcelle brought a refreshing energy to the show. Her grace, her authenticity, and her ability to hold her ground in a way that felt real, not manufactured. He paused, his gaze focused as though recalling the best moments from Garcelle's time on the show. There was something about her that felt like an anchor. She was grounded in a way that was unique for Beverly Hills. For fans who had seen Garcelle navigate the stormy seas of RHOBH, dealing with some tense confrontations, navigating subtle betrayals, and stepping up as a powerful voice for representation, Cohen's words hit home. Garcelle had been the first Black woman to join the RHOBH cast, a trailblazer in an otherwise homogeneous group. Many fans had hoped that her presence would continue to challenge the status quo and bring an essential layer of authenticity and depth to the show. A journey of growth. Looking back at Garcelle's journey on RHOBH, Cohen reflected on how the actress and author had evolved since joining the cast in season 10. Initially, she entered as a newcomer, feeling the pressures of fitting in with the glamorous and often drama-filled Beverly Hills crowd. But over time, Garcelle proved herself not just as a likable and relatable figure, but as a voice of reason, often calling out the group when their behavior crossed boundaries. "I remember when Garcelle first joined," Cohen recalled. "She was figuring out where she fit in with the group, and that can be difficult in a dynamic like Beverly Hills where the women have all known each other for years. But Garcelle didn't just try to blend in, she stood her ground. She never shied away from calling people out when they needed it, especially when it came to issues of race, friendship, and loyalty. One of the standout moments in Garcelle's time on the show was when she confronted the women over a racially insensitive comment made by a fellow cast member. It was a defining moment that solidified Garcelle as not just a housewife, but a voice for important conversations that transcended the typical drama. Garcelle took on a role that went beyond just being a housewife. Cohen explained. She was a truth teller, and that's rare in this world of reality TV. She didn't just take things at face value. She challenged the women and viewers to think deeper. The decision to leave. When Garcelle announced that she would be leaving RHOBH, Cohen was one of the first people to express support for her decision, albeit with a tinge of sadness. "I respect her decision to leave," he said, his tone shifting slightly. "She has had an incredible journey on this show, and it's not always an easy decision to walk away. It's not just about leaving a TV show. It's about choosing the next chapter of your life." While Cohen emphasized his respect for Garcelle's personal decision, he also acknowledged how significant her absence would be for the show. Garcelle brought something special to Beverly Hills. She wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo, and that's what made her such an important part of the series. There has been speculation that Garcelle's decision to leave was driven by a variety of factors, including the ongoing drama with her co-stars and the toll that being on a show like RHOBH can take on a person's mental and emotional health. Cohen hinted that while these factors may have played a role, Garcelle's departure wasn't entirely about dissatisfaction with the show. "Garcelle is a multifaceted person," Cohen said. "She's not just a housewife. She's a mother, an actress, a writer, and a businesswoman. And I think, over time, she realized that the RHOBH world, for all its fun and drama, may not be the best place for her right now. She's got other things on her plate that demand her attention, and I think that's something we all need to respect." What's next for Garcelle? So, what comes next for Garcelle after leaving RHOBH? According to Cohen, the sky is the limit. Garcelle has an incredible career ahead of her. She's a woman of many talents, and I think she's only just scratching the surface of what she can accomplish. Cohen hinted at the possibility of Garcelle pursuing other television projects, potentially even branching into scripted television or film. "We've already seen her as an actress, but I think there's so much more she can do. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Garcelle headlining something huge in the near future. She has that kind of star power." Beyond acting, Garcelle's role as a public figure and advocate is also something Cohen emphasized. She's an advocate for Black women and women of color. She's using her platform to speak on important issues. I think she's going to continue to do that, no matter what projects she pursues. A final word. As for whether Garcelle's departure marks the end of her relationship with Bravo, Cohen made it clear that this was far from the case. Just because Garcelle is leaving RHOBH doesn't mean she's leaving the Bravo family. She'll always be a part of that world, and we're all rooting for her. Though the Real Housewives franchise will undoubtedly miss Garcelle's strong presence and refreshing perspective, Andy Cohen made it clear that her journey was far from over. The future holds endless possibilities for Garcelle, and Cohen expressed his unwavering support for whatever path she decides to take next. Garcelle's legacy on RHOBH will not be forgotten. Cohen concluded smiling. "She's left an indelible mark on the show, and for that, we are all grateful. But I'm just as excited to see what she does next." As Garcelle Beauvais moves on from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it's clear that her impact on the franchise, and reality TV in general, will continue to be felt for years to come. With her grace, authenticity, and unapologetic approach to life, Garcelle will undoubtedly continue to break barriers and redefine what it means to be a real housewife in the years ahead.